Wednesday night in Richfield, Ohio, a tough night for the Sting even though they win. Watch Teddy Kraft, one of their top scorers. P.J. Johns tackles the ball, but his left leg tackles Teddy Kraft. And the verdict is in. A broken leg for Kraft. He's obviously done for the season. But the referee awards a shootout. Number 9 in black, Manny Rojas, will take it. 5 seconds in which to score a goal. Deeks Johns to the outside. The net is empty. Rojas will score it. That goal comes 55 seconds from the end of regulation time. Chicago wins 3-2. They meet again 48 hours later, this time in Chicago. The MISL celebrates its 10th anniversary season as FNN Score and Bud Sports, in association with Madison Square Garden, presents the Friday night game of the week. Tonight, the Cleveland Force visit the Chicago Sting. Tonight's game is being brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers and proud sponsor of the 1988 U.S. Olympic team. For all you do, this Bud's for you. By Metropolitan Life and affiliated companies. Get Met. It pays. And by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade is thirst aid for that deep down body thirst. A pleasant good evening, everyone. We're coming to you live from the Rosemont Horizon, just outside of Chicago. I'm John Paul Della Camera. Alongside me is Ty Keogh. And Ty, a quick look at the standings will show you in the East why this game is so very important.
That's right. This is the time of year when things really begin to cook in the divisional playoff races. And between these two teams, just a couple games. So every game crucial at this point.
Taking a look at it from a goalkeeper's point of view, the Cleveland Force had 2 very fine goalkeepers. They're down to 1 because Victor Nogueira is done for the season. It's up to P.J. Johns.
P.J. Johns has stepped in and performed very ably and very steadily, so he's taken a lot of weight on his shoulders. Up front for Cleveland, though, they'll have to look to Carl Valentine. He's come back from some injuries. He's just starting to click, and he should be a factor tonight.
And on the opposite side, the Chicago Sting made a big move earlier. They traded even up 2 goalkeepers. They get Vaccaro. Nogueira goes to Cleveland. Right now, Chicago's happy with the deal.
Exactly. Vaccaro, very energetic and good acrobatic goalkeeper. He's also very good on the counterattack. He has a good arm, and he can get the counterattack going. Up front for Chicago, it's Dave McWilliams. He's a man who almost miraculously came back from a bad knee injury. He joined the team late, but now he's come on and he's scoring a lot of goals.
It's the Chicago Sting and the Cleveland Force. We'll be back with a kickoff from the Rosemont Horizon. So stay with us. P.J. Johns in goal versus Chris Vaccaro.
Gatorade this winter, maybe you just don't get thirsty.
Gatorade is thirsty, all that deep down body thirst.
Bet you can't guess what I do for a living. It's competitive, fast-paced, teamwork.
She plays Major League Volleyball, the fastest sport on the court. Teams in New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Minneapolis, Phoenix, and San Jose.
Major League Volleyball. Catch the action.
Hi, Tom. Looks like you beat me again.
No problem, lady. Have a sporting news on me. I get it at home, and that's where I'm heading.
I get the sporting news at home, too. But when I'm on the road, I buy it to keep up, especially about you American Leaguers.
I thought you were always up on us American Leaguers, Whitey.
Watch it, Kelly. I'll get you at the All-Star game for that one. In the meantime, stay with the sporting news.
For all the baseball news, read the sporting news every week. You get hot pennant action, player profiles, more stats and inside updates than any other sports weekly. Plus complete year-round coverage of football, basketball, and hockey, including special issues. Call for a super deal that saves you 75% off the newsstand price.
For convenient home delivery and a super deal, call now toll-free 1-800-225-3030. Get 55 issues of the sporting news for 4 easy payments of $7.50. Call now 1-800-225-3030. That's 1-800-225-3030. 30-30.
Your MISL referees are sponsored by Elite's Performance Footwear. Elite's the newest name in quality soccer shoes, and Elite soccer shoes are worn by many of your favorite MISL stars. Elite's Performance Footwear, where soccer enters a new age. Gino DeFlorio and Carl Valentine over the ball at that center line, right at midfield. Cleveland, the visiting team, gets the kickoff in the first and third quarters. The home team gets it second and fourth quarters. Cleveland in the blue and gold, and Chicago in the white and black. This field about 10 feet wider than most fields, and we'll talk more about that during our telecast tonight. Right now, it's Carl Valentine, one of the hot members of the Cleveland Force, especially now that he's healthy again. He's had some nagging injury problems this season and has missed a good portion of the schedule already. Plays it to the corner for DeFlorio. Kicked away by Paul Crumpy, a member of our U.S. national team. Back into the neutral zone, it's Valentine. Opening minute of play from Chicago. Just outside of Chicago, Andy Schmetzer pokes it ahead to Gino DeFlorio. Knocks it all the way back. Intended for Armstrong. He can't get it. Manny Rojas can't. Gives it to Ficus. Back to Crumpy. Manny Rojas with room. Over midfield. He got the game winner on a shutout the other night. Knocks it to the corner for Ficus. Holding. Plays it in, but P.J. Johns is right there. Long toss on the distribution. Johns already with 4 assists this year. His counterpart in goal, Vaccaro, with 6, so both goalkeepers can help the offense. John Stolmeyer holding it, the rookie of the year a season ago. Back it comes into the neutral zone, Andy Schmetzer. Back for Stolmeyer. 18 goals already for Stolmeyer, far better than what he did a year ago. Right side to Valentine. Picked up by Burtz. Valentine holding. Back into the neutral zone for Armstrong. Scoreless time, 13:40 to go. Opening quarter of play. Armstrong got it back from Schmetzer, broken up. Rojas waits for help. 3-on-3, now 3-on-4 as DeFlorio comes back to help. This is Ben Collins. Over the line he'll come. He's got Moreira free on the left. Drops it off. Chico Moreira, the shot, but it's right at P.J. Johns. Game has started out end-to-end. Both teams going all out here. Neither team tied feeling each other out. They just played each other Wednesday.
But a couple shots for Johns that were right at him, and those are almost the kind of goalkeeper would like to have. It builds his confidence and gets him into the game.
Yeah, if he's going to touch the ball early, it's nice not to have any pressure on him right there. In the corner, Dave McWilliams. What an acquisition he's been for the Chicago Sting. Batata to the corner. Off the boards. McWilliams can't find it. Neither can Greg Ion. And back the other way come the Force. It's wide open. Right side, Glenn Lurie. His first shift. Bang to the boards. Loose ball. It comes right across, and Ion tucks it to Vaccaro. Both teams playing with some pretty bad injury problems tonight. We'll talk more about that in a moment as McWilliams pokes it ahead to Batata. Batata to the right. Shot is blocked upstairs out of play. And it will be a kick-in coming up here for the Chicago Sting, who are playing tonight. As we look at P.J. John's statistics, they're playing tonight. The Sting are without Kraft, obviously, with a broken leg. Paolo Marhetic, another significant player, out with a thigh injury, and Frankie Klopas recovering from knee surgery. On the opposite side, Ali Kazamani, they thought he'd play tonight. They're sitting him out again with a sciatic nerve, and the great Kai Haskeby at home, probably watching this one on television, and the Force could really use their captain. So those are some key players for both sides out. Dennis Mepham expected to play tonight, although maybe not all that much. Batata on a kick-in. Plays it out wide open as Collier, and he gave it up. He just shot it right at P.J. Johns.
He didn't get much on it. I think he wanted to make sure he kept it down and on goal, because the tendency is with that type of approach to the ball to maybe get too much on it and send it upstairs. He did get it down, but certainly not enough on it to beat Johns.
12-11 to go in the opening quarter. Scoreless tie. Craig Allen leads it on the right for DeLuca. Off the boards. Taken away by Moreira. Moreira's played despite some nagging injuries, so he's not even at 100%, but he's been in there because the Sting, like most teams in the MISL, have been crippled with injuries. Collier up to Oscar Albuquerque. To Ben Collins. Over the line. To the outside. Going up against Dennis Mepham. Off the boards, trying to get his own ball, but Mepham is there. Long P.J. Johns toss to Allen. Didn't handle it well. Played up. Sting will get it. Collins has Rojas. Bad pass behind him. He'll control it. Leads to the right. A shot too high. And out of play by Albuquerque. But the Sting really going all out. And everything looks good for the Sting except that final play, that final shot, in which they've not been all that strong. 11:29 to go in the first quarter. Scoreless tie.
This bug for all that you do.
Papers say you busted it up pretty good. This is where we start.
Come on, roll back. You missed the cheer. Can't beat no doubt and fear.
For that something that won't let us quit, the clean, crisp taste of Beechwood Aged Budweiser.
To your first game back.
This bug's for you.
Chris Vaccaro, a 19-16 record, and there's his goals against average. Every year that he has played, he's lower than average, and this year's average is even lower than the 4.02 of a season ago.
He's also going for the all-time points record in the league for a goalkeeper.
Tied with Scott Manning of Baltimore. Off the boards, it's picked up. In fact, Vaccaro has 6 assists. We mentioned that earlier, but he also has 1 goal this year. Oscar Albuquerque plays it into space to Collins, using that extra width of the field, but there's Armstrong right with him. Plays it back to Albuquerque. Knocks it ahead. Collins! Right at P.J. Johns again, but P.J., good job. He cuts the angle. He reads it well.
But an excellent idea by Albuquerque to put that ball into the space for Collins, but Johns did come out and cut the angle.
Valentine played it across Schmetzer, blocked by Vaccaro. Schmetzer is connected on goals this year at an amazing clip. 1 goal for every 4 shots he takes. 15 goals this year. Here comes Mertz leading it. Broken up. It was intended for Batata. Gino DeFlorio coming back the other way for Cleveland. Across the attacking line. Finds Desmond Armstrong. Made the All-Star squad and only his 2nd year, and it's broken up. Rojas. Ficus tried to go with him, but it was blocked. John Stolmeyer with some good hustle to get back. Back to P.J. Johns. 6 consecutive starts for P.J. in goal since Nogueira went down with his injury against San Diego. Collier, who leads the club in block shots, will block that pass. Benny Dargle. This is his 194th consecutive game for Benny. Desmond Armstrong across midfield. Holding it against McWilliams. Up to Valentine, and he was kicked out by Boriano. That's a foul. It's going to be the 2nd or 1st foul on Chicago. Played now to Valentine. It's taken down. Back comes Boriano. Cut off by Dargo and played back the other side all the way back to P.J. Johns. Long ball the other way. Stan will get it back. Batata with 9:37 to go. That last foul was not only the first on Chicago, but the first in the quarter. Right side, Batata. Ficus breaks for the box. Nice cut to the outside. Batata played it back. He had a great chance to shoot, and he gave it up.
Exactly. He could have cracked that one low and hard, and he would have had a good chance of beating Johns. Instead, he tried to slot it across to McWilliams, who wasn't even expecting it.
Valentine plays it back now to Benny Dargle. Dargle leads the force in block shots, having to take over some of the leadership on this club when Bernie James was dealt to Tacoma. Broken up now by the very smooth Chico Morera, up for Dave McWilliams. And on the right side, it's Batata. Batata, 5-time All-Star, but a lot of controversy surrounding him this year. He has been benched. He has played limited duty, and he's out there as a regular now with Kraft out injured. And yet he's such a tremendously talented player. Here comes Collins. Coming in. Shot off the glass. Picked up on the right side. Collier in the corner for Ion. Broken up. Collier miskicks this one, and it goes out of play. But this thing getting all kinds of opportunities here, but have been unable to put a decent shot on goal on P.J. Johns.
They have created a lot of opportunities for themselves on that last one. Collins puts a great move on Mepham, and he's by him just in a flash, and he comes all the way in. He cracks the shot well. It was just inches wide.
Felix Fuchsman, and that's Joe Manfrey. Those are the 2 referees who work the floor. Tom Landy is the alternate referee working things in the box. Benny Dargle set to put it in play. We'll give it to P.J. Johns, and now back for Benny Dargle. Cleveland next week will be drawing their 2 millionth fan. This is the only original franchise still left from 10 years ago. And they just seem to get better and better. Right side, long ball in. Missing on the header was Craig Allen. That ball carried pretty high off the glass, and it'll do that. The glass, there's more glass here, you probably noticed, than any other building. And it's livelier. The corners are shaped a little different, so it may take some funny bounces. But once you get used to playing here, I would think it would be an advantage for Chicago. They don't get to practice that much. Off the boards. Collins didn't get it. That was a great idea, too, from Rojas. Chicago very creative in their thoughts, but again, the final touch isn't there, at least not right now. Rojas holding. Cuts it back for Batata. Coming on for Collins on a change. Now to Morera. 7:40 to go. First quarter scoreless. Although the Sting could have at least a couple here if they were sharper on their final touch. Played back to P.J. Johns. Philip Joseph Johns, that's what the initials stand for, and he used to be on the Cleveland Force reserve team. They have produced quite a few outstanding players, including DeFlorio here and Hector Marinaro of the Minnesota Strikers. That's one that got away. Batata with Heinz Verts to his left. Plays it up to McWilliams. Back for Batata, the ex-Los Angeles Laser. Right side to Greg Ion. He, too, had a stint with L.A. Ion leaves it for Batata. Off the boards. Blocked by Stollmeyer. Ion, right point, Batata in a scoreless tie. Fakes, cuts to his left. Gives it up. Morera holding. Crowd wanting the Sting to shoot. Batata still cutting. Right side, Morera in a scoreless tie. Loose ball, Batata missed. Oh, he took something off, it looked like there, and it looked like he just seemed to relax.
He thought P.J. Johns had it, and then the ball was loose again. Then he had another swipe at it, so that's a difficulty there for him. Morera just cracks the ball in there, and Johns appears to already have it, so that's why Batata hesitated and wasn't able to convert.
Gary Henley talked to us earlier, the Sting coach, about just that, the concentration, being sharper around the net, and I got to think that's one of the things that he was hoping wouldn't happen.
A forward needs to be hungry around that goal. If there's a loose ball, he needs to pounce on it, even if it appeared at first that the ball was going to be collected.
Now the Sting sweeping out. They can break 3-on-1. McWilliams breaking ahead of the left. Batata has Albuquerque. This is McWilliams, and he missed. Coming in, a shot too high by Crumpy. And the Force take it back the other way. Gino DeFlorio cutting 1 against 2. Stops the ball. He gets some help with the men in blue. Knocked away. Verts with a good defensive play. All the way back to DeLuca.
Cleveland picking their times to go forward. That time they got caught with too many players up the field, and suddenly it was 3 against 1 the other way. Up to this point, they've been playing the basic strategy of an away team, just frustrate Chicago and look for counterattacks.
Played up now to Valentine. Turning, shooting, but it's right at Chris Vaccaro, his teammate from a year ago. Vaccaro with that long throw, but this time he found Dargle. That would have worked last year, not this year. Left side, DeFlorio pulls the trigger. Big save, Vaccaro. Another shot too high off Andy Schmetzer. That was a tough ball for Schmetzer to handle. Vaccaro rolls it down to Verts. Look at the space Rojas has, but he lost the ball. Right side, Oscar Albuquerque. Across the way to Buriano. Just coming back from injuries. Buriano cutting, shooting it too high. Rojas after it. 4:54 to go in the opening quarter. Still scoreless. Although Chicago's been at this end of the field quite a bit. Collins has it kicked away by Mepham. Back to Buriano at midfield. Broken up by DeFlorio. Blocked to the near side. Up for Valentine. Takes a hit there from Collier. Carl Valentine brings it over the line. Valentine pokes it right to Dargle. Off the boards. He's passing there, but it's headed up by Albuquerque to Ben Collins. Couple of moves, knocked away by Dargle, but Rojas is there. Lead ball, Johns came out, and he just missed it, it's empty. Buriano looking for it, he's pushed down. Smart foul by Laurie because he didn't think the goalkeeper was back, but that's the same play where Kraft got his leg broken the other night. Looked identical, back the other way, this is Rojas. Takes it, that's wide, and play back to P.J. Johns.
And you know that particular play where Kraft broke his leg, it has to be on the mind of P.J. Johns because he's got to be thinking that maybe some of the Chicago players are looking for him a bit.
Well, I'll tell you what, he came out there pretty aggressively, and the same with the Chicago players. Wednesday night must be a blur in terms of memory to them because it looked like any other normal play like that where the keeper comes out and challenges. Ball play now on the right side to Collier. Let's update you on the fouls. There are 2 on the Sting and 1 on Cleveland. Right side, Ficus. Takes it, but it's right at P.J. Johns. Long throw for Valentine. 1-on-1. Valentine to the inside. Now it's 1-on-2. Valentine blocked by Collier and played back to Vaccaro. Mepham almost hurdled himself through the glass.
But the difference there is that Buriano came back to help Collier because otherwise Valentine has a high probability of being able to take someone on 1-on-1 and getting a great shot in.
Well, that's what he's paid to do, and he does do that job well when he's healthy. And right now, he's probably the healthiest that he's been.
It's the first time I've seen him this year without bandages on either leg or both.
Greg Ian at midfield. In a scoreless tie. Right side it comes. Buriano. Started his indoor career with the Buffalo Stallions. Now to Batata. Back to Buriano with 2:54 to go in the first quarter. Ion up the boards. Deflected out wide. That was a good opportunity. He was passing there.
McWilliams was coming through the slot there, but Armstrong took up a good defensive position.
Craig Allen was all arms there, and that'll cost him a foul. 2 fouls on each club as Poriano sits this dance out. Now it's Poriano back with Burtz at the back. They've got Ion, Collins, and McWilliams up there. It's taken away. Craig Allen holding, shooting it just wide up the post. Rebound wide by Stollmeyer. Allen doesn't normally miss on chances like that. Oh, Joe Manfrey may have saved a breakaway accidentally. He tried to get out of the way. The ball just clipped him. McWilliams was open. DeFlorio. Referees are very agile, and most times he'll get out of the way. That time, unfortunately, he couldn't. Here's Armstrong. Knocked away by McWilliams. Davey McWilliams, lead pass. Collins can fly. Takes it off the boards. Shoots one wide, and not by much. Right side of McWilliams with 2:02 to go in the first. No score. Albuquerque to Collins. Picked up by Armstrong. Give it up to Burtz. Right back. Trying to finesse that ball through. Cleveland after it, banging it back all the way back to P.J. Johns. Ready to throw. This time nobody open deep. So he'll go short to Desmond Armstrong, the second-year pro from the University of Maryland, a highly touted defender. Craig Allen, one of the all-time high scorers in this league. Brandy Schmetzer gives it up on the right to DeLuca. Now all the way back for Benny Dargo. Now for Glenn Lurie. Involved in that trade with Peter Ward and Bernie James going to Tacoma. Played off the boards. Down the left side, Bono. His first shift, the ex-Minnesota striker, only stands at 5'4". Played across the other way in the right wing. Heinz Wirtz in the scoreless tie. 1:05 to go in the first. A lot of excitement, but no finish for either club. Wirtz going left. Rojas over the line. Passes it, deflected out by Johns. Bono trying to change direction of the shot. Rojas tees it up, score! 1-0 Chicago.
But Cleveland has to count themselves lucky that they haven't given up a goal sooner. Just a bit too much space being allowed for the Chicago players. Here Rojas has time to take a look around and really wind up on that shot from the left side, and he hits it through some heavy traffic. Johns is partially screened, I'm sure, but here's Albuquerque. He's uncontested to give the pass. Rojas by himself. He has a couple yards to run onto it, and he just buries it low and hard just inside that near post.
So Manny Rojas, who had a big game the other night with a game winner, gets the Sting off on the right foot. 50 seconds left in the first quarter. The Sting by 1.
You can hear the understandable pride when modern brewers talk about the time they spend brewing their beers, or the time they spend lagering them. True, this reflects effort and care. But for Budweiser, some things take even more time. Like waiting for a big beechwood tree to grow from a small beechwood tree. For all the years past, and the years to come, this is the kind of time and the kind of care that go into your beer. Beechwood aged Budweiser.
Manny Rojas takes a well-deserved breather. He has scored the goal from Oscar Albuquerque, and the Sting take a 1-0 lead. Tough goal for the Force to give up with only 50 seconds to go in a quarter. Coaches hate to give those up, but the other teams love to score them.
Really, Chicago had earned that goal in terms of the possession and in terms of the opportunities that they had been creating. Really not much happening at the other end for Cleveland.
P.J. Johns up the middle now to Valentine. As anyone, though, who has watched indoor soccer knows, a 1-0 lead is not that much of a lead at all, especially this early in the game. Armstrong plays it back to Stollmeyer. John Stollmeyer up the right side. Now it's played over to Armstrong. Desmond holding it. Takes it to the corner, off the boards, across, and Collier knocks it, but not out. Stollmeyer with a good right foot trap to keep possession. Looked up at the clock. 16 seconds left. Now to Valentine, a 1-0 Chicago lead if you're just joining us. Valentine knows time is running out. 5, plays it into the corner. They played it back to McCarron. He stopped it on the short side. And you'd have to question the thinking on that with the ball played right back to the keeper that way with all those forwards right there on the doorstep and only 4 seconds to go. But I tell you what, Cleveland looked like the rookie. John Stonemeyer knew how much time was left, but it seemed like Valentine may have thought there was more. Chicago on a Rojas goal has a 1-0 lead at the end of one.
Everywhere you look, products are packaged for value and convenience. It's true of donuts, bars of soap, cases of soda, even long distance has been packaged for value and convenience. With AT&T's Reach Out America plan, it gives you long distance by the hour, not by the mile. Just phone 1-800-538-0800 to get an hour of AT&T calls every month, all across the country, to any other state, all for our lowest price ever. Just $8. You can call as far as Hawaii, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands, even Alaska. They're all packed into Reach Out America. So are your faraway friends and family. And you can talk to them all every month if you're willing to spend just $8. There's just one thing to remember. In order to get an hour of calls every month, all across the country for just $8, you have to call during the plan's hours. But that's the easy part, because the plan is packed with hours. You get all day Saturday and Sunday until 5 p.m. So while you're relaxing on the weekend, you can relax on the phone. You can even call every night starting as early as 10 p.m. You can use your hour any way you like, and extra hours cost even less. It's all packed into Reach Out America, and it can be yours if you phone 1-800-538-0800. Do it now to get an hour of AT&T calls every month all across the country for our lowest price ever, just $8. There's even a way to get a 15% discount on calls as early as 5 p.m. To order the plan that could help your long-distance dollars go farther, call toll-free 1-800-538-0800. That's 1-800-538-0800.
I'd like to order AT&T's Reach Out America.
Call now and enroll in AT&T's Reach Out America, the long-distance plan that's packed with value and convenience.
Chicago takes a 1-0 lead and a nice goal. Albuquerque sets it up.
Albuquerque puts that ball in the perfect spot for Rojas to run onto it. He drills a low, hard shot through some traffic out in front. P.J. Johns really can't see it all the way, and it sneaks by him on that short side. Rojas really lays into this one. He struck it very well with the left foot. The ball's tailing away just slightly as Johns tries to throw himself over to that side, but he can't get to it.
Well, he may be small, but Tony Bono at 5'4" can provide a screen, and I think Johns may have seen him, but Rojas gets all the credit for that one. The assist to Albuquerque, and as you pointed out well, he gives him a ball that he can strike on the first time, so Johns doesn't have maybe that split second to react to it, to get himself into the right position to make the block. And I agree with your earlier comments. I think Cleveland was fortunate that it was only a 1-0 lead, because certainly with all the time Chicago came down the floor, chance after chance, they were their own worst enemy.
Chicago moving very well and finding the open man, and what it amounted to was Cleveland leaving too much space for the Chicago players to operate in, and they were playing alertly enough to be able to use that space to their advantage.
So it's a 1-0 lead for the Chicago Sting, and Budweiser, the king of beers and proud sponsor of the Major Indoor Soccer League, happy that you're along with us, and we now begin quarter number 2 for the Rosemont Horizon. For the Cleveland Force, Allen to Glenn Lurie. Lurie, left side, Dennis Mepham. Right-footed shot, stopped by Vaccaro. That one was right on. A giveaway there by Chicago. Can't afford that when you've got scorers like Craig Allen on the doorstep. Mepham to Allen. Lays it off, or tries to. It's blocked. DeLuca will get it. Pasquale DeLuca, having his best indoor season, is broken up, and Mepham will have to go back for it. Chicago outshot Cleveland in the first quarter, 9-6. Up for Allen off the boards. Craig Allen can't get to it. It's played back to Vaccaro. Vaccaro made 5 saves in that opening quarter. P.J. Johns had 7. Out-of-town score. St. Louis leading 4-1 at home against Wichita. Garcia has 1 goal, Gray 2, and Duran 1 for St. Louis. Wichita's goal, Mike Fox. McWilliams lays it off down the right side. That's in the first half of play, that other score. A couple minutes to go, we're told, in that one. Batana holding it. Tackled away from him. Greg Ion after it. Ion this year with 4 goals and 5 points total against the Force. Morera to Batana. Right across, save, rebound, and a score! 2-0 Chicago.
And that one looks like a Christmas gift for Greg Ion. He's in the right place. When the ball does finally come out to him, he's standing there with almost a virtually totally empty net in front of him. Batata hits the ball low and hard across the goal mouth. And then Johns gets his hands on it, but it's not enough to get it out, just enough to get it over towards Ion. McWilliams in there causing some trouble as well. Ion made very sure that he hit the ball high because, as you can see, the Cleveland defenders and Johns trying to scramble across low to block it out.
So Greg Ion will get his 12th goal of the year. Batata the assist. 2 big goals by the Sting. They're up 2-0.
If you don't need Gatorade this winter, maybe you just don't get thirsty.
Gatorade is thirsty. Hold that deep down fire thirst.
Right there, he's the man in the middle, Greg Ion, but on our last play, he was the man on the end. He finished off the shot from Batata. P.J. Johns had the ball, but not enough of it. There was the rebound, and Greg Ion, a young man from Canada, scored the goal, his 12th goal of the season. Back of the action, now the Force with it. Valentine over the line. That's 2 big goals for Chicago, big in that one was scored at the end of a quarter, one at the beginning of a quarter. That can be translated into some momentum. Armstrong played it in, broken up. Cleveland, though, is just a goal away from getting themselves right back in and changing the complexion of this. Valentine lays it off. DeFlorio off the boards. Broken up by Albuquerque. DeFlorio in the air to win it for Armstrong. Nice cut on Collins. If he loses it there, it's a breakaway.
A lot of poise and confidence for just a second-year player to be able to stand up to the man putting pressure on him and just put a tricky little move to buy some time.
He's such a gifted athlete as well. You hear that term a lot now with players. Not just a good player, but a good all-around athlete. Right side. Played in now to Valentine. Looking to turn off the glass. Picked up almost there by Schmetzer. But now the Sting get it. Collins. One thing that the Sting want to do, they want to be confident, but they can't afford to be too cocky. Cleveland has an awful lot of talent here. They can come right back and counterattack, especially in a long pass from a P.J. Johns.
Especially when Chicago may become a little overconfident, send too many players forward, thinking it's going to be a rout. Instead, Cleveland could come back and turn it around with some counterattack goals if Chicago would do that.
Here's Buriano, a scribbler to the far boards. Ben Collins on it. Out to Buriano. Burtz over the line. He can let it fly if he goes with that left foot. This time on his right, trying to play it and knocked away by Stonemeyer to Collins. His shot off the post. Great deceptive shot from Ben Collins.
A great fake just before the shot to get everybody leaning. Then he steps the other way and hit that ball hard and low, but just wide.
Here's Cleveland countering on the right. DeFlorio off the boards, and there's Collins. First man back. How about that for the Hustle Award? In the corner, DeFlorio knocks it for Armstrong. He'll leave it off for Valentine. Carl Valentine holding it. Takes it to the outside on Albuquerque. Played it across. Blocked by Burtz. Loose ball. Shot blocked again. Buriano got a foot on that.
And he may have saved the goal. I really don't think Vaquero could have reacted. That ball was hit first time. It was straight on goal.
Buriano now cutting it back to Collins. To Albuquerque. Back to Ben Collins. Right side, Burtz. The ex-Baltimore Blast. Up to McWilliams, another ex-Blast. Plays it back into the neutral zone for Collins. 2-0 Chicago leading at 11:05 to go in the second quarter.
And now Chicago can afford to slow the pace just a bit because they have the lead. Before it was Cleveland trying to slow the pace because they're the away team and don't want to let Chicago get much momentum. But now Chicago has had the momentum and now are just slowing it down.
Valentine will bring it back in over the line. Carl Valentine shot off the post. A header. Great save by Carl. Carl Valentine, 2 great chances.
He's so dangerous. He has that acceleration, his explosive speed, and the quick moves with the shot to finish it off.
Well, if Vaccaro was even half asleep, he's awake right now. 2 testers.
He was saved by the post on the first one.
Dargle, right side to DeLuca. Holding against Buriano. Trying to lift it in. It was blocked. It'll end up there. DeFlorio bangs it off the boards. It was blocked by Ficus. Batata shielding the ball very well. Oh, that hurt. DeLuca took him down. First foul of the quarter.
Batata
I know what he's looking for, don't you?
He's bleeding for the 2 minutes. I don't think it was quite that bad. He was maneuvering very well with the ball. He just put his body in between the ball and the man, and that's where the contact's going to be. He's about to pull away there, and they each got a little bit of a piece of him. DeLuca a little bit more.
They might have drawn it if he didn't splash down the way he did.
Yeah, I think it was. That little extra takeoff before he hit the turf.
It's called embellishing, I would say. Had a great year last year, but this year doesn't have the same numbers. Here's McWilliams, broken up by P.J. Johns. Batana will say he's not playing, and that's why, I'm sure. And Gary Henley, general manager Ken Stern, and before that, Eric Geyer would say he's not playing well, and that's why the numbers are not there. Depends on who you talk to. Mepham over the line, holding against Ficus. Dennis Mepham leads it off. Now it's Benny Dargo. To Lurie. Glenn Lurie plays it back now to DeLuca. Pasquale DeLuca back at the midfield line. He's there with Mepham. DeLuca plays it up to Allen. Craig Allen, top of the arc. Pushing, they're both pushing actually, but Moreira gets nailed there. Good job by Allen to attract that foul.
Allen nearly had himself in the open. Moreira's only chance to slow Allen down and stop him from getting a good chance on goal was to reach in and foul him a bit.
9:28 to go. Second quarter, 2-0 Chicago. Dargle off the boards. Nobody there, but here comes Lurie, and he missed. Shot it wide. Great chance there.
It's a great chance because Vaccaro is still not in position when that ball is his first shot.
Cleveland had a lucky break. They had no one in the box, and the ball just seemed to go right where they wanted it, and there's an open player. 2-0 Chicago on goals by Rojas and Ion. Vaccaro approaching his own red line. 9 minutes straight up left in the second quarter. Played up to the right side. Moreira hesitated. Now he's over the line. Chico Moreira's shot blocked to the corner. Dave McWilliams, 15 goals in just over 20 games for this club. Broken up by Moreira. He gets it right back off Allen. And now Dargo has to sweep it away. To DeLuca. Knocked away by Collier off the glass. Cleared all the way back to P.J. Johns. I'm a little surprised, Ty, at the tempo of this game, considering that they played each other just 48 hours ago.
And they're tired of looking at those same faces in front of them. That may spur them on a little bit, give them a little bit extra energy. Maybe they've got something to prove from 2 nights ago.
Ball played in toward Allen, but Vaccaro picks this one off the glass. Vaccaro and Allen combined on a lot of goals as teammates. He'd make that long throw, and there would be Allen, one-on-one, and he'd score. Up the left side. Ion. To Crumpy. Crumpy holding it. Left footer blocked by Mepham. Up to Allen. And now Ion will throw back to Vaccaro. Remember one game, Vaccaro did it 3 times in a playoff and beat Pittsburgh, and Allen finished them all. Can't forget games like that when a goalkeeper has 3 assists. Up the left side, Collins. Ben Collins obtained a deal for Dan Cantor with Minnesota. Chicago easily got the better of that. Taking nothing away from Cantor, but he's not in the league right now, and Collins still is contributing. Right side, Verts. In the corner for Crumpy. Back to Heinz Verts. Down to 7:23 to go in the half. And a 2-0 Chicago lead. Right side to Crumpy. Back at center point area, Heinz Verts. Valentine standing by himself at the opposite red line. Ion cuts it back, shot saved. P.J. Johns, and had that Ben Collins shot been harder, Johns may not have been able to come up with it. Long throw for Valentine. Now to DeFlorio, tees it up, blocked on the play nicely by Crumpy. Off the boards again, and it got behind Andy Schmetzer. Rojas. 2-0 lead in a space for Crumpy. Johns is out there to win it. Quickly, the forced comeback. Great, crisp passing. Stolmeyer right across, and he gave up a chance to shoot it as well. Right side, Andy Schmetzer. Looking. Now to Valentine. Andy Schmetzer off the glass. Lurie, a tough ball to trap, but he does it off a chest. Blocked by Verts. Valentine after it. So is Lurie. Cleared out. And a nice catch made by DeLuca on the forced bench, and that'll produce an official's timeout. So with an official's timeout on the floor and 6:22 to go in the first half of play, it's Chicago on top. 2-0 is your score. We'll be back.
Hey, Tom, looks like you beat me again.
No problem, Whitey. Have a sporting news on me. I get it at home, and that's where I'm heading.
I get the sporting news at home, too. But when I'm on the road, I buy it to keep up, especially about you American Leaguers.
I thought you were always up on us American Leaguers, Whitey.
Watch it, Kelly. I'll get you at the All-Star game for that one. In the meantime, stay with the sporting news.
For all the baseball news, read the Sporting News every week. You get hot pennant action, player profiles, more stats and inside updates than any other sports weekly. Plus complete year-round coverage of football, basketball, and hockey, including special issues. Call for a super deal that saves you 75% off the newsstand price.
For convenient home delivery and a super deal, call now toll-free 1-800-225-3030. Get 55 issues of the Sporting News for 4 easy payments of $7.50. Call now 1-800-225-3030. That's 1-800-225-3030.
Chicago leading it by the score of 2-0. Their head coach, Gary Kelly, has made a few changes on this club. One of his changes, he wanted to bring people behind the ball to help the Chicago Sting in terms of the counterattack situation. And that's one of the things that he has stressed since taking over the Chicago Sting.
Really, we haven't made many changes. It was 2/3 of the way into the season when I took over, and really it's easier to try and keep status quo and just do things a lot better that we were doing before. But we have tried to get behind the ball just a little more and become more of a counterattack team. Unfortunately, now we have a couple people out like Frankie Klopas and Pato Marhetic, which are adverse to counterattacking all the time.
That's a good point, Ty. Pato Marhetic, because he's such a great dribbler and he's got the speed and he's got everything, really.
Really, both teams missing some excellent attacking players. Marhetic and Klopas and Teddy Kraft for Chicago. Kazimani and Kai Hoskevy for Cleveland as well. I would think it may cut down the number of goals we might see tonight with that caliber of player missing.
A Buriano foul. That's one way to stop Valentine. That's a second Sting foul. It'll give him a free kick from 34 feet out, and Desmond Armstrong over the ball. They'll set up a two-man wall here against Armstrong, who may shoot or dish it off. He's got DeFlorio to his left, Stollmeyer to his right. Gives it up, broken up. There's Valentine working to get it, but now it's Armstrong.
Albuquerque read it pretty well there. He knew where the ball was going, was able to cut it off.
Oscar's been around, and he's been rejuvenated with the Sting team, and actually, as a role player, has done pretty well. Last year was with the New York Express for a good part of the year, and Chicago ended up taking it this season. On the left side, Stollmeyer cranks it, blocked there by Buriano. It stays in play off the glass. Picked up by Schmetzer, Andy Schmetzer. 5:40 to go. Second quarter, 2-0 Chicago. Left there on the right side for Stollmeyer. Giving it up on the right. Off the boards, Valentine. Carl Valentine. Against Buriano, turns and fires it. And Vaccaro takes it off to Carroll.
And so far, Valentine's been the only Cleveland Force player to present any real danger to the Chicago Sting.
Battata over the line. Holding it there. A 2-0 Sting lead with 5:12 left in the first half. Battata back in the neutral zone to Albuquerque. Talked before about Klopas being out with an injury. We'll be talking to him live at halftime. We hope you'll stick around for that. We'll check out his progress report. Battata blocked. He'll take it back. Holding it. He's got a man breaking to the right. Now spots Buriano. Played it across, blocked by Stollmeyer. Sting lost the golden opportunity that time. Battata holding now. Trying to play it back. It's blocked right to Albuquerque. Sting had a good bounce of the ball there. Oscar Albuquerque, right side to Battata. Battata against Andy Schmetzer. Into the corner. No place to go there. But he does draw the foul against Andy Schmetzer. That's going to be the second foul on Cleveland. 2 on Chicago. Free kick coming up here. Battata swings it out. A Buriano blast. That one's still traveling, folks. So Cleveland will have a goal kick when we return. The Chicago Sting on goals by Manny Rojas and Greg Ian still hold on to that 2-0 lead.
I'm Gail Olenikova. Join me on FNN Score Wednesdays at 10 p.m. Eastern for Olenikova's Sports and Fitness Journal. Share the superstar secrets of champion athletes and hear all the news that's fit Wednesdays on FNN Score.
Hi, I'm Pete Rose, and I'd like to invite you to Score's newest show, Easton Sports Arena.
Each week, we'll bring you the pros like Pete Rose who will share their experiences to help you, the amateur athlete. So set your training schedule for Wednesdays at 9:30 Eastern on Score.
Well, the graphic tells you the whole story there with Chicago leading it 2-0 and 4.5 to go in terms of what's remaining in the first half of play. Doesn't tell you all of the scoring opportunities, though, that Chicago has had. And there have been numerous. Don't just go by the shots on goal because some of the shots don't count because they were wide. Here's P.J. Johns coming up. Plays it back to Dargo. Dargo straight up for Laurie, broken up there by Morera to Charlie Ficus. Gets a good bounce there off the boards. Ficus to Manny Rojas. Rojas over the line. Left footer wide. He almost got his own rebound, but here's Mepham quickly looking to counter. Now he'll have to slow it down. He's got not what he wants in front of him. So he'll bring it back now to the left point. Cleveland would love to get themselves right back into this before the half is over and get on the board. They don't want to go into the dressing room at the half without a goal. Ficus to Collins, swept away. Good work there by Glenn Lurie. Now it's Dargo. Benny Dargo holding it. They thought Casamani would play tonight. Everything we were told indicated that he would, but they scratched him before the game. He's got that sciatic nerve problem. Tough break for him because he's such a gifted player. Vaccaro now rolls it left to Verts. Fouls are even at 2 apiece. Chicago leads 2-0, 3:13 to go in the first half. Heinz Verts. Back to the midfield line. Chico Morera. Greg Ion, who scored the second goal of the game. Now Morera. Picked up by Craig Allen. Up to Rojas. And Cleveland starting to put some high pressure on. Back for Ion. Now to Verts. Ben Collins. 2-0 Chicago leading it to Rojas. Back for Verts. Rojas again. Now makes the play to Collins off the boards. Manny Rojas against DeLuca to Collins off those boards again, but well read by Dargo and cleared out. Vaccaro doesn't give a good ball to Verts. He'll give it back to Vaccaro. Mepham on the chase. Look at the pressure that Cleveland's putting on now. Dargo just running at anyone. Almost got that ball from Verts. Now back to Ion. Change in strategy here for the force. Up for Ion now. Sting break the pressure. Collins man open. Rojas holding it blocked. Is it a handball? Well, they're going to call a foul.
That's a handball.
I didn't see him make the call, but handball is it.
As Lurie slid across there, the ball did catch a piece of his hand and broke the play up. A good chance for Chicago.
Rojas to Verts, and it's blocked there by Craig Allen. Verts put it straight up. Rojas with a foot trap.
But we nearly saw there how that high pressure game up at midfield can backfire, because if you are beaten, then there's so much space in behind you, and that's what Cleveland found as Chicago suddenly had a 3-on-1 coming in on P.J. Johns.
Albuquerque now to Verts. Collins back to Heinz Verts. Over on the left wing side. Ben Collins to the outside of DeLuca. Stopped on the short side. P.J. Johns is there. Sting will keep the pressure on. Verts cut it back to Morera. Holding it as Collins goes to the bench for Batata, who's just on. Minute and a half to go. Less than that now. First half of play. Right side, Batata. Off the boards, McWilliams. Would have had to have been an acrobat to score on that. On the right side, Allen. Over midfield comes Craig Allen. He's had 2 years in which he scored better than 50 goals a season. Mepham strikes it hard and high. Played back now by the Sting. Albuquerque now led upfield to McWilliams. P.J. Johns is there. Johns played it across now to Stolmeyer. John Stolmeyer from Indiana, second pro season. Desmond Armstrong. Cleveland's got such great young talent in this club. Here's Albuquerque, some veteran talent. McWilliams to the left. McWilliams put it upstairs. He did not get a good ball on that. Good opportunity. So, seconds to go in the first half. Chicago on top.
You're a bud man, baby. A bud man through and through. Having fun in the sun, baby. And there's nothing you can't do. You're a bud man. You're a bud man, baby. For all you do, this bud's for you.
Just 38 seconds left in the first half of play. Welcome back, everyone. John Paul Della Camera along with Ty and Keogh on the Chicago Sting, leaded by the score of 2-0. P.J. Johns has seen an awful lot of that Spalding ball so far tonight. A couple of them have gone by him, but it could be more if the Sting were sharper, especially in that opening quarter play. But Cleveland's still very much alive in this one. 2-0 lead. Some say is the worst lead in the MISL. Here's DeFlorio over the line. Played in. Andy Schmetzer. Blocked by Batata. Armstrong keeps the pressure alive. Takes 2 players to the corner. Can't beat them both. Batata in some trouble. Great job to get it out. Briano tried to lead it from McWilliams. Put it too far. Now Johns will send this one over 3 lines. If there were 4 lines, it would have passed over that one. All the way back now to the first line that it passed over. 10 seconds left. Played in too quickly for McWilliams. Batata not seeing which way Dave Mack was going to go. 5 seconds left. Johns will roll it to Craig Allen. The Force have been shut out in the first half of play. The Chicago Sting and that man, Chris Vaccaro, an ex-Cleveland Force, will walk off the field with a 2-0 lead. And P.J. Johns knows that there's still, at least anyway, 30 minutes to go before the Chicago Sting will have themselves a victory here tonight. Still anyone's game, but the Sting have been the better of the 2 teams thus far. Goals by Manny Rojas, his 13th of the year at 14-10 of the first quarter. And in the second quarter, Greg Ions' 12th goal of the year at 1. Sting have that lead in front of the home crowd 48 hours after they beat Cleveland by 1 goal, 3-2. They're up here 2-0.
If you don't need Gatorade this winter, maybe you just don't get thirsty.
The National Invitational Tournament is live on Score starting March 17th through March 26th. Catch all the action from across the nation in the nation's oldest collegiate tournament. That's the NIT Live on Score.
It's time to warm up from the cold and get indoors as Score heats your winter night with the hot action of MISL soccer. Follow the excitement every week as Score takes you through the playoffs. This week, the Cleveland Force meet the Chicago Sting live Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Remember the Thriller from Manila and the other Ali Frazier wars? Here's your chance to own a piece of boxing history with the Ali Frazier boxing package featuring the Muhammad Ali videotape, Skill, Brains, and Guts. A spellbinding 90-minute history of the champ's turbulent career. It's all here. The challenges, the laughs, the taunts and barbs, the dazzling prowess that characterized Ali's headline bouts and made boxing history. Retail value of this tape alone is $34.50. You'll also get this great boxing video that documents the career of Smokin' Joe Frazier, a fighter remembered as a relentless punching machine. You want more? Well, order now and you'll also receive this official program from the 1987 Hagler vs. Leonard Super Fight. Retail value of this boxing package is nearly $65, but our price to you is just $39.95. That's right, 2 great videos and the program for $39.95. Don't wait, call 1-800-962-2962, and that's for the Ali Frazier boxing package today.
Welcome back, everyone. Have for themselves a 2-0 lead going up against the Cleveland Force. Second time in 48 hours that these 2 clubs have met. I'm John Paul Della Camera. This is not Ty Keogh. Frankie Klopas has stepped in. It's a shame that Frankie's not in the lineup. He could really help the Chicago Sting, but we're expecting you back, what, at the end of the month?
Well, I just saw the doctor a couple of days ago, and my progress is going really well. They said a couple more weeks. My leg is feeling great, and I'm really anxious to get in there.
Had to be frustrating for you, Frankie. You're such a young guy, and you came right out of high school and made this club. Was that your first serious injury?
Well, I had a leg broken before, but nothing close to what happened to me this time. I mean, you get so ready before the season, and one play gets you out the rest of the season. And the bad thing about it is you come out to the games same time as the other teammates come, and you watch them dress take on the field, and you're not able to do that. And that's really frustrating for me, you know, watching the games. But now at least I'm able to run, play with the ball, so it's not bad.
Can you recreate the injury for us? You remember the whole situation?
Well, it was in San Diego when we had a power play, and we lost the ball on the right side, and Kevin Crowe was on a breakaway, and I was chasing him from behind, and our goalkeeper, Chris Vaccaro, was sliding out, and I didn't see him too late, and I stepped, tried to jump over him. He just landed right on my knee with all his weight, and my knee just snapped back, forward, right way, I don't know which way. I just felt a lot of pain afterward, and that was it.
That's what you get for playing defense, right? Frankie, you're a big help to this club offensively when you play, but tonight offensively they've looked good. I mean, they haven't finished as well maybe in the first quarter, but I think they've been the better team of the 2 in the first half of play, at least offensively.
That's true. I think the chances we had tonight, we put them away. And I mean, we're missing a lot of key players. The other night, Teddy Kraft, we lost Teddy Kraft with a broken leg. Bottom of my headache has been out with a pull muscle. The only bad thing with us is that we suffer a lot of injuries this year, but I think we're still in 4th place. We're in the race for the playoffs, and that's all that's important.
Can't let you go without talking about the U.S. national team. You're hoping to play for what, an Olympic team, I think?
Olympic team. I mean, that's the thing I'm shooting for right now. Hopefully I can be back for this season, but if not, the Olympics is just a big dream for me, and you know, playing for the national team is just a dream come true.
Out of high school, what was it like? I mean, what, 18 years old? I forget how old that was now.
I was going to my 18th birthday. It was just, I mean, it was, for me, practicing every day, watching this thing play, and actually being on a team, it was, like I said, like a dream come true. And then after every year, you just watch and you learn and you play, and the only thing you worry about is injuries, and hopefully I won't get any more.
Next time we see you, we hope you're down on the field. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, John.
Frank Klopas, our guest here at halftime from the Chicago Sting. Right now, the Chicago Sting have a 2-0 lead on goals by Manny Rojas and Greg Iron. Stay with us. A lot more to come from the Rosemont Horizon. Back in just a couple of moments.
There are people on this planet with amazing powers. They communicate instantaneously over great distances without saying a word. With the help of their personal computers and CompuServe, they access a universe of information, a world of entertainment, and an incredible number of goods and services without buying a lot of expensive software. Watch this, and I'll be back to tell you how you can connect your computer to CompuServe and take advantage of a special money-saving offer. CompuServe combines the power of your computer with the convenience of your telephone to bring you hundreds of online services, like a complete set of encyclopedia and national news wires. It helps you decide on investments, bank, and make airline reservations. Get free software and shop in the electronic mall. CompuServe connects you with other computer owners and offers games that pit you against opponents around the country. Imagine doing all this with your computer, especially now, while you can join CompuServe and get $25 worth of usage time with your membership. Just call 1-800-543-9500. In addition to hundreds of powerful CompuServe services, every new member will also receive this comprehensive user's guide. It gives you all the help you need to get the most out of CompuServe. A subscription to the monthly news magazine Online Today, full of fascinating ideas to help you get more out of your computer. And if you call now, you'll also receive this information-packed User's Almanac absolutely free. This $12.95 value is your handy, quick reference to all of CompuServe's services. You get all this for just $39.95. That's less than most software packages. And usage charges are as low as 10 cents a minute, no matter what time of the day or night you use your service. But you have to act now to receive everything, including your free User's Almanac. Call 1-800-543-9500 now and put the amazing powers of CompuServe at your fingertips.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Rosemont Horizon. John Paul Della Camera with Ty Keogh, and a Chicago Sting lead at 2-0. They've been very creative, Ty, in the opening half of play, and they struck at the very latter stages of the first quarter after having so many chances before and unable to put it by.
They were dictating most of the pace, particularly offensively. Here, Albuquerque just slots the ball across for Rojas to really lay into it, and he cracks a left-footed shot that beats P.J. Johns to the near post.
That goal came at 14:10 of the first period, right at the end of it, and it gave the Chicago Sting a little bit of momentum, I'm sure, going into that second quarter of play. It was Rojas from Oscar Albuquerque, and the Sting led it 1-0, and it didn't take all that long for them to score again. They scored at 1:19 of the second quarter.
Patata just took the ball down into the corner and put it straight across. P.J. Johns dove for it. He was able to get a piece of it, but he didn't knock the ball completely out. Instead, it just made its way to Ion, who was camped out over by the far post, and he had a virtually empty net to shoot into.
So that made the score on Ion's goal from Batata 2-0 in favor of the Chicago Sting. As we take a look at our halftime statistics, it'll be the Chicago Sting on top 2-0, and there's your totals. The shots, the Sting had the edge by 4. Give P.J. Johns 3 more saves. He had the far more dangerous of the opportunities. The blocks are pretty close and the fouls are pretty close. The thing that has surprised me again, I'll say, Ty, is the level of play. The up and down, when you think the two teams played each other 2 nights ago and it's an important game and they both have injuries, but they're going at each other pretty much up and down the floor.
Exactly. We've really seen the Chicago Sting play very well offensively and go straight at the Cleveland Force. On the other hand, the Cleveland Force really not having a chance to change the pace of the game to their advantage like Chicago has, and there's been a lack of movement and not quite as good as in the transition as the Chicago Sting has been. Really, Carl Valentine, the main threat for Cleveland. On the other hand, for Chicago, several players combining on several occasions to make good chances on goal.
When you're down 2-0, is it best to, if you've got that open shot, take the shot? It seems like Cleveland has been making maybe that one pass too many when the responsibilities there and a guy could maybe crack it. They're down 2-0. Is that maybe something to look for?
I think that they really miss Kai Hoskevy. I think they really miss Ali Kazimani.
Sure.
These are the players that know how to make those types of decisions and will take that type of responsibility. So a big gaping hole in terms of leadership and in terms of the attack for the Cleveland Force with those two players out.
So with those players out of the lineup, Dennis Mepham has returned, though, and he'll try to help the Cleveland Force in the second half of play. But right now, the Rojas goal and the Ion goal have given the Chicago Sting that halftime lead. They're shutting out the Force 2-0.
You're a bud man, baby, a bud man through and through. Having fun in the sun, baby, and there's nothing you can't do. You're a bud man. You're a bud man, baby. For all you do, this bud's for you.
How to write a small business success story. Listen to how AT&T comes through to help turn small businesses into bigger ones and learn to write your own success story free.
Who says a little shrimp can't be big business? AT&T showed us how telemarketing can pull in customers from coast to coast.
AT&T is helping small businesses use telecommunications to better manage field sales, ease cash flow, expand markets, and improve customer service.
Hi. AT&T explained how an 800 number in catalogs makes it easier for customers to reach me. Now, my bunny business is booming.
AT&T can show you how to use telecommunications to grow and prosper, too.
AT&T helped me turn my one-man shop into a 75-man operation. Now I'm wheeling and dealing cross-country.
Call 1-800-426-1514 for your free set of helpful booklets and learn how to use Watts, 800, and other AT&T services and products to cut costs, increase sales, and support your growing business. Call 1-800-426-1514 now for your free copy of Telecommunications Ideas to Grow On and discover how AT&T can help turn your small business into a big success.
Why not let AT&T help put you on the high road, too?
AT&T, the right choice.
We're back inside the Rosemont Horizon, just outside of Chicago. As we take a look at our Eastern Division standings, the last column is the games remaining. And look at how close these teams are. Ty, at this point, even the gamblers don't know who's not going to make that last playoff spot. It's a toss-up, but Chicago's got a good break here. They play more of their games at home, and they've got 3 games in hand.
This is the type of thing that's good for a league. There's going to be interest in all of these cities. They're all fighting for one of the top 4 spots, which are the playoff position, and also for home field advantage in the playoffs. So you see there, the 2nd through 5th teams in the division, only 2.5 games separate them. So each and every game among those teams is doubly as crucial in terms of the playoffs.
Don't memorize those standings. They change with each passing day. On the opposite side, forget about games remaining for anyone as far as first place is concerned, because San Diego won that division, I think, a long time ago. But look at the rest of it. Kansas City, 11.5. Tacoma, the same. Los Angeles.
How to write a small business success story. Listen to how AT&T comes through to help turn small businesses into bigger ones and learn to write your own success story. Free.
Who says a little shrimp can't be big business? AT&T showed us how telemarketing can pull in customers from coast to coast.
AT&T is helping small businesses use telecommunications to better manage field sales, ease cash flow, expand markets, and improve customer service.
Aye. AT&T explained how an 800 number in catalogs makes it easier for customers to reach me. Now, my bunny business is booming.
AT&T can show you how to use telecommunications to grow and prosper, too.
AT&T helped me turn my one-man shop into a 75-man operation. Now I'm wheeling and dealing cross-country.
Call 1-800-426-1514 for your free set of helpful booklets and learn how to use Watts, 800, and other AT&T services and products to cut costs, increase sales, and support your growing business. Call 1-800-426-1514 now for your free copy of Telecommunications Ideas to Grow On and discover how AT&T can help turn your small business into a big success.
Why not let AT&T help put you on the high road, too?
AT&T, the right choice.
Since Godfrey Ingram came there, they've picked up those goals. He's averaging far better than a point per game on this Dallas club and started to put together the numbers that everyone knew he was capable of after he was traded to St. Louis and things didn't work out for him there. So the Sidekicks could be a force to reckon with in the playoffs, and a lot of their guys have already tasted the championship, and that's if they get there, because again, no one knows there's one of these teams, and you've got 5 pretty good teams right now in the East. One of them will not be there in the final. I understand with Chicago leading here 2-0 that we're having some video problems. Those have emanated here from the site, so don't adjust your sense. We do apologize for those video problems as the second half is underway. And let's see what Cleveland can come up with here. They're 1 goal away from changing the complexion of this one. They're down 2-0. Played up to Valentine. Picked up by Burns. Now to Desmond Armstrong. Holding on. Waiting, now plays it across to John Stolmeyer. Stolmeyer also a member of our United States national team. Hoping to gain a spot in the upcoming Olympics in Seoul, South Korea. Ball is cleared back the other way. Stolmeyer. We mentioned Stolmeyer. We mentioned Kopas and Paul Crumpy also on this club. P.J. Johns holding it. His club down 2-0. Up the right side, Armstrong fell down. That's going to create a break. But it's 2-on-3. Instead, Collins, Rojas missed.
And Rojas would like to have that one back because he couldn't be presented with a better opportunity. Collins really set the table for him, and Rojas couldn't even put it on goal.
That deep sigh of relief you hear was not Timo Liakoski and Jay Hoffman on the forced bench. It was Armstrong breathing because he was the one that fell down, and you hate to see, if you're a player, give one up like that. Paul Crumpy on the left. Across the line to Collins. Holding it against DeLuca. A goal there would have looked big, I think, for Chicago. Again, it would have been a goal at the start of a quarter and might have had Cleveland with their heads down a little bit. Especially those kind of goals where one guy just kind of lost his balance and then boom, the other way. Burt's on the left to Finkes. Bothered too much, I guess, by DeFlorio. That's a foul. First foul of the quarter, and Joe Manfrey wants the ball placed not in the same spot that those guys were using. Everybody looks for a little advantage, I guess. There's Joe Manfrey, who hails from the Baltimore, Maryland area.
And Charlie Pike is getting ready to take the kick. A Chicago native. He grew up, born and raised here. Now come back to play for the Sting again.
His second stint here. I remember people were real upset when he was traded initially. Won a couple of outdoor championships here. Right side, Barrera to Ben Collins. Collins against DeLuca. And Schmetzer. It's out now to Barrera. Andy Schmetzer on it. Left side to Greg Ion. 13 minutes to go. Third quarter, 2-0 Chicago. But it could have been quite easily 3-0. And of all people, Rojas, who has been a good finisher for this club, missed it there. Played on the right side to Andy Schmetzer. Rojas got in there and knocked it away, and now a late whistle. And the reason it was a late whistle was the referee wanted to see what damage was done, and when he saw that by not calling it, he would have given up a breakaway. He had no choice. But the crowd looks at it as a late whistle. Collins now broken up. Dargle plays it back to Johns. I got to agree with that. Benny Dargle. Left side, Michael King's first chip. We may see more of him in this second half. He's the kind of guy to come off the bench and get the job done. Off the boards, Valentine. Looking to turn. Valentine holding it. Turns to the side. He's taken out. That's 2. I thought it was 2. No. I thought Felix Buchman was going for the card.
He appeared to be reaching for his card, and I would call that 2 because Valentine had split 2 defenders and had a great chance.
King shot too high. I thought for sure he was going for the card.
It was very obvious that Collier took him down purposely.
Yeah. Well, that'll teach me for going ahead of myself that time as Dargle plays it back. I agree with you, too, because Valentine would have had a clear, I thought, advantage in breaking in. Valentine looking again. Off the boards. He's been dangerous, although he's not been able to finish off. He's looked deadly out there. In for Michael King. Started out the air at the back. In a position switch. Could be a 2-on-1, but the Force hustle back. And Mepham knocks it back to P.J. Johns. Oh, a dangerous move that time. He lost it. And he's out of the net, but Matata can't find it. Oh, some anxious moments. I bet they were really jumping up and down in front of their TV sets in the Cleveland area. Off the boards. Back the other way. To Wirtz. Heinz Wirtz to Ion. Broken up by Dargle. Nothing like getting everybody's ire up when you see the goalkeeper out. Here's Morera. Plays it in. Didn't have enough on it. P.J. Johns is there. P.J. might have been trying to do a little too much. He knows his club is down, and maybe he's coming out there to give him a little bit of a spark, but it almost backfired.
Took a big chance there, and he's completely out of position when he does turn the ball over.
Craig Allen. Cutting it back now to Mepham. Mepham holding it. Now back the other way. Dargle to Desmond Armstrong. When this team was healthy, they were a first-place team. When they had the injuries, they dropped 8 in a row, tying their all-time mark for most consecutive losses. Morera knocks it away. And now it's Batata over midfield. To Rojas, to Wirtz. Back in the right, Manny Rojas. 10.5 to go in the third. 2-0 Chicago. Wirtz pulls the trigger, but not enough on it. Johns is there. A lot of wide open, though, white-shirted Chicago Sting players if PJ doesn't hang on to that rebound. Dargle leaves it for Desmond Armstrong. Can't get by 2 players, but he may have gotten a foul called on Batata. So Armstrong trying to squeeze through. They built this team originally as Kai and the kids. Unfortunately, Kai is injured. The kids are still there. The kids have really done well this year for Timo Liakowski. Second winningest MISL coach, 192 wins. Ball played back to Stollmeyer. Blocked by Collins. Stollmeyer might have taken a finger in the eye. Stollmeyer hurting. And that should bring out the Force trainer, Aaron Galpert, as we look at some of the faithful here in Chicago. Sting up by 2.
These days, people talk a lot about truth in labeling. At Budweiser, we started our own truth in labeling program over 100 years ago. And what was true 100 years ago is still true today. Budweiser, king of beers.
John Stollmeyer will be looked at on the Force bench. He appeared to maybe get poked in the eye. That's what it seemed like. The ball was deflected out of play off Ben Collins, so Cleveland will have the kick in. Brian Bliss, the #1 draft choice, gets his first shift of the night. Left side, DeFlorio off the boards, and it's knocked away by Albuquerque. Armstrong keeps it in. Bliss, wearing number 8, will be on the right-hand side of your screen. As Chicago breaks it up, and DeFlorio kept it in. Now it's Collins. Ben Collins can move over the line. Albuquerque makes a run to the box. Collins off the boards, bobbled for the moment by Johns. He's up and throwing long for Allen. 1-on-1 against Wirtz. Allen in a difficult position here, though. Along those boards, gives it up to Andy Schmetzer. Cuts to the outside, played it across, and just went by. Picked up by Armstrong, and he put that one way upstairs and out of play. And a missed opportunity that time for the Cleveland Force, who were really threatening that time. Right now, they're still being shut out. 2-0 is your score here. There's Gino DeFleury, number 11. Is that Stollmeyer behind him? Yeah, can't see him. He's being blocked out a little bit. John Stollmeyer's been a very durable player. In fact, he's only one of 3 players to play the whole schedule this year. Armstrong is another, and Michael King is the other, although King doesn't play on a regular basis like Stollmeyer and Armstrong. Brian Bliss, number 8, from Southern Connecticut State. That's a school you don't hear too much about. Does Stollmeyer wear contacts?
I'm not sure. It looks like he might be adjusting a contact.
Either that or he put some something in his eye. It looks like it's all red. I think he got a finger poked in his eye. Ball played up now, and it's broken up by Mepham. The Force are naturally hopeful of his return. And Mepham took Patata down. Foul on Cleveland, their second. There's 3 on Chicago. Patata to Collier and back to Patata. Over the line he comes. Nice move on the outside. The shot just missed the far post. Right idea, though, for Patata.
And the step-over move got Mepham going the wrong direction. Then Patata, with that quick burst of speed, got himself open.
Well, they could be playing instead of this music, Let's Get Physical, because that's what's happening down there on the floor. Bodies are just flying. Free kick coming up here for Chicago, and the fouls are even at 3 apiece. Patata will put it in play. In now for Ficus, knocked back out. Chico Moreira. Now to Ficus. Back to Moreira. He's got Collier to his right. Moreira leads Gary Collier. Off the boards, blocked once. He'll try it again. In for Patata, save! P.J. Johns juggled that one. Sting almost took their 3rd goal there. There's the fouls at 3.
And P.J. Johns there, not looking that secure. He's bobbled a few balls. That one, he didn't see till the last minute. Had Patata put it to either side, I think he would have had a tough time stopping it.
8:17 to go. 3rd quarter, 2-0 Chicago. Goals by Rojas and Ion. Played on the right side to Pasquale De Luca. Back for Benny Dargo. He's got the longest consecutive game streak in the MISL at 194, counting this one. Broke a team record previous, held by Keith Murphy. If my memory's working, I thought Murphy's was 188, somewhere around there. Dargo now back again at the red line. Broken up, Patata, more of a giveaway than a takeaway. Patata slides it easily to Moreira. Back up for Patata. Good run on the left side by Ion, but he wasted it. No one saw him. Right side, Moreira. Along the glass. 2-0 Chicago leading it. Played back to Maccaro. Valentine chasing him. Up to Ion. Now Cleveland coming back again with that high pressure. Burtz plays it across to Moreira. McWilliams gave it up to Valentine in midfield. Put it into space for Michael King, but Burtz is there. Michael King, a 3-time All-American at Fairleigh Dickinson. Up for Ion. He's got a lot of room. Ion now closed down by Mepham. Leaves it for Patata. Knocked away to Burtz. Rojas couldn't get it. Dargo to Michael King in midfield. Leads it on the right for Benny Dargo. A 2-0 Chicago lead out to Michael King. Back to Mepham. Dennis Mepham made the All-Star team this year, but couldn't play because of an injury. Armstrong pushed out by Patata. Fouls still show 3 each. Ryan Bliss, also a member of our U.S. national team. Quite a few of them out there tonight. Bliss holding it, plays it in. Valentine, a marked man tonight, to say the least. Nice turn. The shot, save, rebound. Score, Brian Bliss. Brian Bliss will finish it off. DeFlorio had a great chance, but couldn't. But again, it's the work of Valentine.
Exactly. Valentine with a similar move on the one that Collier pulled him down or took him down earlier on. This time he's through for the shot. It's over towards the far post. A little bit of a scramble there and finally finished off by King. But Valentine, great aggressiveness offensively to get this shot in. Quite a save, really, initially by Vaccaro. DeFlorio's there, nearly put the rebound away. Vaccaro got another touch on it to slow it up. But coming through is Bliss, I believe.
Yes.
Bliss finishes off, but this is the move here. Crumpy beaten cleanly by Valentine. Valentine, hard, low shot, an excellent save here. DeFlorio, he nearly missed that. It would have been an easy goal. Instead, all he's able to do is get it out in front for Bliss to run through and put it away.
Vaccaro looked like he would have had a chance to get that one off of DeFlorio, but no way to stop Bliss, who walked in unattached, and it's a game again. 2-1, Chicago just by 1.
Hi, Tom. Looks like you beat me again.
No problem, Whitey. Have a sporting news on me. I get it at home, and that's where I'm heading.
I get the sporting news at home, too. But when I'm on the road, I buy it to keep up, especially about you American Leaguers.
I thought you were always up on us American Leaguers, Whitey.
Watch it, Kelly. I'll get you at the All-Star game for that one. In the meantime, stay with the sporting news.
For all the baseball news, read the sporting news every week. You get hot pennant action, player profiles, more stats and inside updates than any other sports weekly. Plus complete year-round coverage of football, basketball, and hockey, including special issues. Call for a super deal that saves you 75% off the newsstand price.
For convenient home delivery and a super deal, call now toll-free 1-800-225-3030. Get 55 issues of the sporting news for 4 easy payments of $7.50. Call now 1-800-225-3030. That's 1-800-225-3030.
They're a part of the kids, the man in the middle. Brian Bliss scored the goal. They give the assist to Florio. Unfortunately, Valentine does all the work. He gets nothing.
It's a crime is what it is, because he did. He's the one that opened it right up and made the initial penetrating run with the ball.
Brian Bliss, good outdoor player, starting to become a good indoor player. Of course, have high hopes for him. Here's Morera. Next goal is going to be an important one. Blocked in the box and played back to Johns as the Force get it. They've tied the Sting. And the Sting may have a letdown, but if the Sting get it, it negates that last goal, although the shutout is gone. This foul goes against Chicago. It'll give them 4, 3 the other way.
And the Cleveland Force had been gambling. They were sending players forward, and they were also, even when Chicago was attacking, leaving Carl Valentine sometimes completely by himself up at the red line, in effect giving Chicago a man advantage, but looking for that quick break to try and get a goal in this game.
Craig Allen holding it. Played it across. On a block, the Florio shot wide, rebound, Allen, blocked again. Up, handball, but on Cleveland.
Valentine just tried to control that ball for himself as it was bouncing by him by using that quick little hand in there to get it down so he could take a shot.
Now it's Collier coming back. 88 block shots coming into the game. High on the Sting. Ex-San Diego player.
The Sting have to change their plan a little bit. They were just playing back pretty much, absorbing some of the pressure that Cleveland was applying. They can't afford to do that now because it's only a 1-goal lead.
Sting might be thinking about the goal that Rojas missed in the first couple of minutes of play in this quarter. That would have given them a 3-0 lead instead. They're only up by a goal. Play back, and there's P.J. Johns. Rolling to the left side to Florio in midfield. Force starting to run well now. Right side to Schmetzer. A 2-1 lead for the Sting. 5:20 to go. Third quarter of play. Fouls are even now. De Florio to Craig Allen. Knocked away by Morera. Rojas dishing it out to Collins. Not a good ball. He's in trouble, but gets it free. Nice ball to relieve the pressure up for Albuquerque. Armstrong and Albuquerque go in top, but Armstrong's hurt.
And that's a dangerous play by Albuquerque. The way he came through on that tackle with the leg raised, with his weight coming down, it didn't look good, and Armstrong looks like he may have taken the worst of it. Timo Liakowski stepping off the bench and discussing it with the referees. It did not look good the way Albuquerque challenged for that ball.
I was surprised no foul is called. Craig Allen over there demonstrating, and Timo Liakowski says back off. Sting by 1.
Looking for something different?
You could say you're just bringing my family a little bit closer.
Think you've seen it all. Oh, wait a second. You want me to do the question like this, Joe? Fine. Know all the answers? Now, does Ted Turner watch this program? Well, you just might be ready for America's most technologically advanced game show, Time Out for Trivia. Only Time Out for Trivia lets you at home be the contestant and win valuable prizes. Sports trivia at its best. Join me, Todd Donahoe, the commissioner, for Time Out for Trivia on FNN Score.
We're going to show you the injury to Armstrong again, and you be the judge. Oh, yeah.
He goes straight on to Armstrong's ankle. Albuquerque going over the top of the ball, and this is a classic example of what is a dangerous play and what referees should be on top of. That's a 2-minute penalty because it, as you can see, that full weight comes down on Armstrong's ankle, and you can see it twisting.
Aaron Galpert working on Armstrong. He's been busy. We've not seen Stolmeyer come back since he appeared to take a poke in the eye, left eye. We'll try to get a progress report on that. Foul in Chicago, that's their 5th. And Felix Fuchs, the official, says to Batana, don't even try to say anything. Mepham the other way now on the left. Over midfield. Both teams in some foul trouble with 4:32 to go in the third. 2-1 Chicago leading it. Force have come back. Still anybody's game. Broken up by Batata. Not a good pass from DeLuca. Batata with Ficus to the left. Ficus right back, and it's wide. He wanted Batata to continue his run. A foul on Cleveland. 5 each. Well, the next whistle is going to cost somebody a trip to the box. These are the two of the 3 least penalized teams. Ball played in and knocked out of there by DeLuca.
But really, to be fair, each of them should have a penalty tonight. One missed call on Valentine could have stopped a possible goal. This one that was missed when Albuquerque makes a nasty tackle could mean a very bad injury for Armstrong.
McWilliams played it across to Batata, top of the arc. Broken up by Dargle. And the Force can ill afford any more injuries. They've had more than their share. So you count their big 5 players, not counting this game tonight. They missed 78 games total. Here's DeLuca, great shot and an equally fine save by Chris Vaccaro. I tell you, I love to see a defender do that. He's not a forward, but he did a good job with this. John Stonemeyer coming back. We couldn't get a good look at his eye, but it seemed to be puffy, and that's my only guess, Ty. He didn't get hit with a ball.
No, the ball went flying up over the glass, and he just probably got hit by an inadvertent hand, elbow, whatever, and caught it right up in the left eye.
Ben Collins was the man defending him. I'm thinking he just may have gotten a finger in the eye, and those can really smart, huh?
Plus, a player's eyesight, that's one of his main tools. It can really scare you if you do have an eye injury.
Meppo will put it in play. Off the boards. Oh, he had Bliss open, but it was broken up. We'll try to get a report on Armstrong, but he's still on the Force bench. Burks blocked. Bliss after. Knocked away. Picked up and sent across. Force doing some good moves here. Bliss went down, no foul call. Here comes Ion over midfield. 3 on 4. Played back to Morera. Meppo right on him. Back to midfield. Ben Collins. A 2-1 Chicago lead. 3:07 to go in the third. Sting with that 1-goal margin. Collins pushed that. Not a good call there on Craig Allen's part.
First he kicked him, then he held him.
Well, I'm surprised at that one. Here's Desmond Armstrong.
You're going to see things heat up here when you have type of calls that have been let go. The dangerous play against Armstrong there as well. It's all in the back of the minds of the players that they have to defend themselves out there, and you're going to see the hitting start to increase.
When I say I'm surprised at the call, I think it's a good call. I'm surprised that Allen put himself in that position. I mean, Collins is not going to hurt him from right there, not with 5 fouls.
I think Allen's looking for a steal. He's an attacking player. He sees a lot of space in behind Collins at the red line. If he's able to get the ball, they can make a quick counter attack.
But is it too aggressive? Do you have to be aware of the 5 fouls in that spot or no?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, penalty on the Force, but tell you what, they've got the best penalty killing in the entire league. Better than 79% coming in. They've been awesome. On the right side, played into the corner. The Sting power play, they'll admit, has really struggled all year. They rank in the middle of the pack. Actually 6th.
When Allen's fouling there may have been a part of the Armstrong Albuquerque situation. They're trying to, be a little bit aggressive to try and pay that back.
This is Rojas, center point. Great chance here for the Sting. Could be a turning point. A shot too high by Rojas and cleared out. Incidentally, I saw Stonemeyer good-naturedly kidding with Ben Collins, so I believe it was an inadvertent poke he got by Collins' hand or finger, but Stonemeyer's apparently okay and able to lap it off. In the corner, Collins out to Barrera. Power play on. 2:20 to go in the period. Played into the box. Kicked out by McWilliams to the right side. Barrera tees it up. Save, John. That's his best save of the night.
And McWilliams is there at the doorstep as well at the far post, waiting for a possible rebound or tip-in.
Here's Wirtz. Johns, when he saves it, he's going to push it wide, or somebody's got an easy rebound. Headed out by Michael King. Time remaining is 55 seconds of the power play. Rojas to Wirtz in the corner, McWilliams, but it's right at Johns. He may have been looking to pass to Collins.
Collins over at the far post. If the ball is able to get past Johns there, Collins is by himself, be able to hit it in with his head.
Vaccaro up the middle to Rojas. 35 seconds of the power play. To Wirtz. 2-1 Chicago leading it. Wirtz right back. Here's Rojas. One touch. Barrera blocked. Comes right back out to Rojas. Settles it. Valentine on him. Rojas getting it back. If Dargle beats him, he could go, but not quite there. Sting got a good deflection there. Vaccaro now to Rojas. Over midfield. Now to Wirtz. Hines Wirtz tees it up. Save made Johns. Wirtz can really shoot well with that left foot. Scored a lot of goals in that left-footed side. Morera's there. The penalty is over. DeFlorio was serving it. Teams will always use a good attacker because 9 times out of 10 when these guys come on, there's at least a decent chance to get into the offense. They want a guy that knows what to do when he breaks. Lead pass, here's Collins. Perhaps some tired players out there for each team. Cleveland trying to change. Nice move there by the Force and a great tackle from Dargle. After Andy Schmetzer made the nice play. Over to DeLuca on the right. Give the Force credit. They've killed off another power play. Played into the corner. Force have gone some dozen games at home without giving up a goal there on the power play. It's incredible when you think about it. Special teams can really help you. You can pick up points that way or stop them from being scored. DeFlorio over the line. Remember, the Sting still have 5 fouls. Valentine, very capable of drawing another one. Played in. DeFlorio can't find it. Chicago in trouble as the horn sounds. And I give Chicago a lot of credit. They got out. They bit the bullet. They did not get that 6th foul called against them. So they don't score on the power play either. And Cleveland Force could have another turning point. They scored the goal to make it a 2-1 deficit. And they also held off on the Chicago Sting power play. Goals by Rojas and Ion for Chicago, but their last goal was early in the 2nd quarter. Bliss for Cleveland. It's 2-1 Chicago.
Everywhere you look, products are packaged for value and convenience. It's true of donuts, bars of soap, cases of soda, even long distance has been packaged for value and convenience. With AT&T's Reach Out America plan, it gives you long distance by the hour, not by the mile. Just phone 1-800-538-0800 to get an hour of AT&T calls every month, all across the country, to any other state, all for our lowest price ever, just $8. You can call as far as Hawaii, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands, even Alaska. They're all packed into Reach Out America. So are your faraway friends and family. And you can talk to them all every month if you're willing to spend just $8. There's just one thing to remember. In order to get an hour of calls every month, all across the country for just $8, you have to call during the plan's hours. But that's the easy part, because the plan is packed with hours. You get all day Saturday and Sunday until 5 p.m. So while you're relaxing on the weekend, you can relax on the phone. You can even call every night starting as early as 10 p.m. You can use your hour any way you like, and extra hours cost even less. It's all packed into Reach Out America, and it can be yours if you phone 1-800-538-0800. Do it now to get an hour of AT&T calls every month all across the country for our lowest price ever, just $8. There's even a way to get a 15% discount on calls as early as 5 p.m. To order the plan that could help your long-distance dollars go farther, call toll-free 1-800-538-0800. That's 1-800-538-0800.
I'd like to order AT&T's Reach Out America.
Call now and enroll in AT&T's Reach Out America, the long-distance plan that's packed with value and convenience.
Back live here in Chicago, and while we have this opportunity, let's show you what we couldn't show you before at halftime, our Gatorade Goalkeeper of the Year contest. Maybe it's no contest, Ty. Zoltan Toth's been there since the start of the year. That's a tough average to beat, and that will shatter every record that we've had in this league for the lowest goals against average. No one has ever gotten below the 3s, and he's been there all year below 3.
He's been so sharp, and they say goalkeepers are like wine. They get better with age, and he certainly is now into his 30s, and he's played great soccer throughout his career in the MISL, but only now are you seeing him really run away with the title this way.
He's in first, and Gorsuch's in third. Their teammates, Sobieski and Papaleo. The only goal of the game, or in the half, scored here by Cleveland. That brings him back.
Valentine, a quick move to the inside. The acceleration beats Crumpy. He cracks a shot hard and low, but Carroll goes down. Is able to just knock it towards the side. DeFlorio's there to get a piece of it, and then it's in the open for Bliss to run onto. But here's the man that made it happen, because he nearly scored himself on the first shot. DeFlorio follows it up, and there's Bliss, really with a garbage goal for him, but he's got to be there.
You know that Cleveland only had 2 shots in that quarter, according to the stats here, and 4 for Chicago. So 19-13, the Stinger out shooting the Cleveland Force and give Vaccaro the 1 save, and they've given P.J. Johns 3 in that quarter. Vaccaro was our defensive player of the game on Wednesday. Budweiser, the king of beers, and an original and proud sponsor of the Major Indoor Soccer League. Hope you're enjoying this one, and we welcome you to the start of the 4th and final quarter. Could there be overtime? Well, we'll find out 15 minutes from now. It's just a slim 1-goal lead, and Chicago has it 2-1. Both teams obviously start ahead with a clean slate in terms of fouls, so the Sting did well to avoid 6 fouls in that last quarter. But here's one already. Foul called early on Chicago. First foul of the quarter. John Stolmeyer with it. Now over to Brian Bliss. Bliss in the neutral zone. Now on the right side, Andy Schmetzer. Schmetzer holding it. We're still trying to get word on the injury to Desmond Armstrong and whether or not he's going to come back into this game. Brian Bliss holding it. Dave McWilliams is there. Valentine being held. Now Bliss plays it across. Andy Schmetzer. Schmetzer. Nice poke on the right. Stonemeyer tees it up off the glass. That could have been a challenge for Vaccaro. A hard rising shot for Stonemeyer, who this year has 18 goals on the season, only 8 all last year. St. Louis with 4 minutes to go in that game, leading 6-3. Jerry Gray, we told you earlier, having a banner night with a couple of goals and at least 1 assist on our last check. Eric Rasmussen scored a goal to bring them back. Armstrong, and doesn't look any better at all. He's got the ice there.
He looks like he's done for tonight. The way he's got it propped up, they're just trying to minimize the swelling. See how soon he can come back.
They've got a game tomorrow with Wichita. Here's Batata holding it. Too much time with it. Almost cost them. And now it's knocked out of play. Last touch by Chicago. So it's a 2-1 lead here for the Chicago Sting. Goals by Rojas and Ion. Brian Bliss pulled Cleveland to within a goal.
The National Invitational Tournament is live on Score starting March 17th through March 26th. Catch all the action from across the nation in the nation's oldest collegiate tournament. That's the NIT Live on Score.
It's time to warm up from the cold and get indoors and Score heats your winter nights with the hot action of MISL soccer. Follow the excitement every week as Score takes you through the playoffs. This week, the Cleveland Force meet the Chicago Sting live Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Welcome back, everyone. John Paul Della Camera along with Ty Keogh, as it is a 2-1 lead here for the Chicago Sting. Stonemeyer holding it. Now on the left side to Brian Bliss. Neutral zone. Up on the right to Valentine. Back for Stonemeyer. Out of the corner, Moreira. Up for Rojas. Cleveland trying to do what the Sting did earlier. Beat them at the opposition's field. Right side Albuquerque. Bobbled by Johns. That would have been something if he fell back into the net with the ball.
He's looked a bit shaky. He's made some good saves, but also on some not so difficult saves, he's had a little bit of trouble.
He had a great start this year. He was second to Tone for a long time, and then went into a bit of a rut, lost 9 straight. Here's Rui Felguera. He takes one, stopped by Vaccaro, and that's going to present a challenge for Vaccaro. He's not seen Felguera this entire game, and he's got a lot of great individual skills. They may try to isolate Rui. Played for the Portuguese national indoor team. Right side, now Ficus holding it. Back into the neutral zone from Mariano, now to Verts. Chicago's had a strange month. They're 3-0 on the road, and they're 0-3 here at home. Brian Bliss. Now with some help, but it's given away. Ficus smartly leaves it to Mariano in front. The kind of miss. Bicycle kicked out of there by Felguera. The Sting are going to be thinking about a lot of chances they missed if they lose this game.
And that's the first time that they have threatened in a while, with Cleveland having a lot of the momentum since their goal.
Again, one of the things that Gary Henley talked about, it seems like a lack of a killer instinct, for lack of maybe a better term, but that might be the term. DeLuca, that bench door was open, and it went in there.
Nice shot there by DeLuca.
Ty, the report is a sprained right ankle, probably out for tonight. Thanks to Dave Janssen, the Cleveland Force, for getting that for us.
If that's all it is, Desmond Armstrong is pretty lucky, because it was a terrible tackle by Albuquerque.
I think in fairness to Joe Manfrey, I think who it was, the referee, I think he's behind both players, and it was tough to see where he clipped them. But it's easy to see on TV.
He was almost too close to it. When you step back and you get the replays, it's obvious.
Easy to see on TV. If he could have watched it on TV, hit Collin. Here's Buriano. Plays it across. Score! Batata!
And that's a beautiful play by Buriano because he was through. He was in cold turkey on B.J. Johns and could have taken it himself. Instead, he fakes a bit of a shot and is able to lay the ball across sideways. Very unselfish play, but very effective as well.
Buriano gets a well-deserved breather in the high fives as Batata scores.
McWilliams does the work in the corner here. He gets the ball out in front and straight on through is Buriano. He could shoot. Instead, he places it sideways over to Batata. Batata takes it from the bad angle, but still is able to slot it through because Johns had been drawn completely out of position by Buriano initially.
Back in the live action and a foul on the Cleveland Force. Their first one. Fouls are even. That's a big goal for Chicago because they get the lead at 3-1.
And if you notice, the Cleveland team really congratulating Buriano as much or more than Batata because he's the one that made it happen.
Batata down the right side. Off the boards, he wanted McWilliams, and it's cleared out of there. Looked like they might have been too unselfish again with Buriano having a great chance, but luckily, Batata's ready for that ball. If he's not ready for the ball, it looks real bad.
Exactly. It could go right past his foot, and he wouldn't even be able to react. But he was looking there. He was ready for it when it did come through.
Ben Collins the other way into the right corner. Ion out to Collins. Big goal for Chicago because it sort of negates that one that Cleveland scored before. Otherwise, if Cleveland had gotten that goal, you could see momentum taking a shift. Albuquerque was detained. And that might be too nice a word. Michael King had the stop sign out.
He was obstructed.
Yeah. There's a look at Batata from Buriano. Sting with a 3-1 lead.
And Batata should definitely buy Buriano dinner tonight because that was a beautiful setup by Buriano.
McWilliams will play it back to Morera, who's now wearing a blue sleeve on his left leg. I don't remember him having anything up there at all before the game started, but he's been bothered by some injury problems. And as we mentioned at the start, not at 100%, but he's out there. A lot of these guys, though, don't play at 100%, especially nowadays with the back-to-back games and the travel. Michael King. Now to DeFlorio. Right side, it comes to DeLuca. Tough loss tonight for the Force to lose Armstrong with a potentially or possible sprained right ankle. Ball played all the way back now to Bliss, who should be getting more carpet time now with that injury to Armstrong. Now it's DeFlorio to Allen. 10:06 to play. 3-1 Chicago. Bliss shot blocked by Morera. Now to Dargo. Dargo shot, save a car, and it's loose. Andy Schmetzer too far off to make the play, and he's in some pain. A foul on Morera.
Morera just clipped him as he went to turn, and he appears to be in quite a bit of pain, but he also may be pleading his case as well for something more serious than just a free kick.
Well, Aaron Galpert out there again. He's had to be busy tonight, hasn't he? He had to look at Stolmeyer's eye, Armstrong's ankle, and Desmond has to sit it out by himself with the ice pack as Aaron Galpert takes a look at Andy Schmetzer. So as Aaron does his thing, we'll do ours and take it to a break. It's a 3-1 lead. The Chicago Sting have the edge against the Cleveland Force.
If you don't need Gatorade this winter, maybe you just don't get thirsty.
Gatorade is thirsty for that deep down body thirst.
Hull or Esposito, how? Each name means so much to hockey fans. And now you can get in-depth video profiles of these greats by ordering Score's Hockey Video Package. Through interviews and film clips, you'll get the full story of each man's incredible career. And if you order now, you'll also receive this great new video, Wayne Gretzky, Sports Champion. Retail, they'd run you nearly $100. But order now and you'll get all 5 tapes for $59.95. Call 1-800-962-2962 and ask for your Hockey Video Package.
Chicago leading it by the score of 3-1. You can hear Vaccaro up here yelling at his defenders. Here's Allen playing it into the corner. Scored off the defender, off Barrera, it looks like. And the Cleveland Force right back in it.
You've got to try something. DeFlorio finding himself in the corner off the direct kick as Craig Allen had put the ball down there to him. He's waiting for one of his teammates to get into position, but they weren't really making the proper movements, so he just puts it across anyway. Here's Allen, a little bit of fake to the inside, puts the ball in the corner to DeFlorio. He's got a little bit of time. He's waiting to see someone. Instead, he's able to play the ball off of Morera into Morera's own net. Vaccaro having no chance. And just after Vaccaro had looked very sharp on a couple earlier plays, he's beaten by one of his own defenders.
Sometimes it's easier to make saves off forwards than your own defenders. You're not expecting it, certainly there.
And I'll never fault the defender there. He's just trying to get a piece of the ball to get it out because he doesn't know what's behind him. If he doesn't try and touch it and leaves it, it could be a tap-in for one of the Cleveland players.
Well, that goal will bring Chicago back down to earth because the Force come right back. Collins now in the corner. Right across save, and the rebound came out. Johns bobbled that one. Now the Sting keep it alive. Barrera slides it across. Rojas holding it there. Cutting it into the corner, Albuquerque. Barrera bombs it. It's blocked by Belguera. Can't clear it out. Hines Verts to Barrera. Chico Barrera's pass is blocked. He'll try it again, this time off the left foot to Rojas. Manny Rojas going in. Takes it, blocked by DeFlorio, and out to Morera it comes.
DeFlorio defending well there. He knows the reputation of Rojas is to go to his left. He almost exclusively uses that left foot, and he's waiting for Rojas to make that move.
Stollmeyer crossed out of Brian Bliss. Bliss holding it. Ball played up now to Belguera. If they've announced that goal as Allen's, they're going to have to change it because DeFlorio smacks it off the defender. We've got a DeFlorio's 18th of the year from Craig Allen at 5:09, so they'll have to change that. And the Cleveland players will probably make sure that that gets changed. Andy Schmetzer, a left ankle sprain, we're told. So, boy, the Force having some medical problems, aren't they? Again, they were a first-place team when they were all healthy, but injuries really took their toll. They went 0-5 on a West Coast swing and 0-6 if you count the fact that they lost their keeper, Noguera. Ball played in now, and P.J. Johns is there. He's thrown long. They try to spring Valentine, and it went over 3 lines in the air just barely. Good idea, but just barely. Uh-oh, Wichita's creeping up. They probably got the 6th attacker there. A minute to go, and the Steamers trying to hold on. And the Lasers are keeping their eye on that score, too. McWilliams gives it up in a space. A big shot saved. Johns up Crumpy. Crumpy can really blast as well with that left foot, and it's cleared out of play. 8 minutes and 15 seconds still to play, but P.J. Johns came up with it there. The set fan realizes there's no escape. Chicago by 1.
It's time to warm up from the cold and get indoors as Score heats your winter nights with the hot action of MISL soccer. Follow the excitement every week as Score takes you through the playoffs. The Wichita Wings meet the Kansas City Comets live Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Hi, I'm Pete Rose, and I'd like to invite you to Score's newest show, Easton Sports Arena.
Each week, we'll bring you the pros like Pete Rose who will share their experiences to help you, the amateur athlete. So set your training schedule for Wednesdays at 9:30 Eastern on Score.
Here's another look at the goal that was scored by Cleveland and how quickly things change indoors.
It's a set play. Allen gets the ball into the corner to DeFlorio, who's going to try and put it across for one of the Cleveland players. They're not moving, so he puts it across anyway, and Morera, trying to block it out, ends up blocking it into his own net.
So with 8:15 to play, it's a 1-goal game again. 3-2, Chicago. They've led the whole night. Here's Batata to Crumpy, trying to play it through, blocked by Michael King. Coming in, Batata, and look at Stollmeyer react. Valentine after it. John Stollmeyer's done a nice job there all season.
He had to be there, or that would have been an easy goal for Batata.
Here's Glenn Lurie looking for the tying goal. Played it across, it's behind Michael King. To Stollmeyer, nice cut, but almost lost it to Batata. That's a dangerous tackle. That's why they're calling the foul there. Off the boards, King. To Lurie in the corner. He doesn't get it, but Valentine can. A big Michael King boom is broken up. Crumpy up for Batata. Will he get it? Yes, he does. They'll bring it over the line. Sting come in to help out. Here's McWilliams, a shot deflected wide. and picked up by Bliss. Back for P.J. Johns. We're told that the Wings have tied the Steamers, and that one's going to go into overtime in St. Louis. So a 3-goal lead was not good enough tonight for St. Louis. Here's Felguera. Lost it at the last moment. Morera coming back. Batata streaking. Takes it wide. Rebound, Vicus. Into Morera, back for Vicus. He doesn't get it. Rojas shot wide. Picked up by Johns. Long throw for Allen. Turning, blocked by Burks.
Very alert play by Johns there to find Allen one-on-one, well up the field.
Here's Johns and Collins. He won it. P.J. won it, but now he's got a long way back. Played up the right wing. Collins to Ion. Collins holding, shooting it wide.
He may have held it a bit too long, but certainly this game's tempo has picked up tremendously. Both teams flying up and down the field and attacking in numbers.
It's wide open again. Collins over the line. 2 players on him. Kick from behind him. Foul in Cleveland. Their third. 3 fouls on each, and that's about the only thing that could slow this one down.
The pace has just been amazing just the last couple shifts. Plenty of action in front of the goals as well. But Collins, again, a little bit of hesitation there when he could have taken a shot.
Ball played into Morera. Too high. Rebound. Headed right at Johns, but he had to be alert there on that one.
That's a reaction save. He just got his hands up barely in time.
Craig Allen. Very dangerous. Coming in. Vaccaro is there. Allen could do nothing for an entire game and beat you with 2 goals in the last minute of a game, so he'll always bear watching.
That's his trademark.
Vaccaro, who knows Allen better than anyone, probably, cleared all the way back the other way. 6 minutes straight up remaining in regulation time. Chicago with a 3-2 lead. Up for DeLuca. Now on the right side, Benny Dargle. Playing it up now to Felguera. Back to Dargle. Benny Dargle at midfield. Up the boards. They try to play it in and it's broken up. Rojas. Sting coming out. They've beaten the force the last 3 times here in this building on the right side. Batata, nice cut. Plays it in, score! Albuquerque! And the brilliance of Batata shines again.
The individual ability to take on a player and beat him is what caused that goal. Batata had 2 of the Cleveland defenders shifting the wrong way as he was able to then cut inside and find Albuquerque, who then put it away very nicely, although Johns could get a piece of it on the way in. Batata just taking the ball at the Cleveland red line. The big fake, he cuts inside on Stolmeyer. He gets another defender leaning here and threads the needle for Albuquerque over towards the far post. Albuquerque doing well to keep the ball low. Nice finish by Albuquerque, but it's the play by Batata coming down the right side. The big fake with the right foot that gets it in there.
Well, that may change Cleveland's strategy. Maybe we'll see a 6th attacker when we come back. Stay tuned.
It's time to warm up from the cold and get indoors as Score heats your winter nights with the hot action of MISL soccer. Follow the excitement every week as Score takes you through the playoffs. The Wichita Wings meet the Kansas City Comets live Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Hi, I'm Pete Rose, and I'd like to invite you to Score's newest show, Easton Sports Arena.
Each week, we'll bring you the pros like Pete Rose who will share their experiences to help you, the amateur athlete. So set your training schedule for Wednesdays at 9:30 Eastern on Score.
Oscar Albuquerque from Batata. The Sting lead it 4-2. There's Albuquerque. Oscar Albuquerque has played a lot of years in the MISL. Looked like he was out of it for a while. He went to the American Indoor Soccer Association and then played for the New York Express, and now here he is with the Chicago Sting, originally from Peru. 6th attacker is out there on the floor, and it's Benny Dargle. As we look at Albuquerque. Big goal for the Sting, but Tata sets it up. There's Dargle as the 6th attacker. Under Gary Hindley, the Sting had beaten the Force twice without a loss, 2-0. In terms of games played. And of the 6 games they played this year, they're even at 3, and 5 out of the 6 have been decided by 1 goal. 2 of them have went in a double overtime. Here's Dargle to Michael King. Across to the right, Stolmeyer. Hold it. Back to Dargle. Michael King. Force still have a lot of time left to do something. They're one goal away from again changing the complexion of it and getting themselves right back in. DeFlorio to Allen, broken up. Kicked away by Collins as he and King collided. Conversely, if Chicago gets another one, you may be able to end this one. It may be over if Chicago could take a 5-2 lead. Up for DeFlorio. Into the corner. Valentine. Now to DeFlorio. Right side. Dargle. Good cut, but then lost it. Burtz kicks it out to Vicus. Didn't handle that well, but here's Collins. He got by King. Is there enough? Yes, it is. Ben Collins. 5-2 Chicago. That might be the icing on the cake.
And a bad break for Benny Dargle. He fought his way back after having lost the ball initially. Got a piece of the ball, but put it directly into the path of Collins, who only took a couple more steps to put it away, but that's the chance you take. When you pull your goalkeeper to go for that little bit added attack, you give something away, and here's what happened. Here, there's Dargle there trying to win it back. He tries to get it back to his teammate. Instead, it's into the path of Collins, and he's able to walk in and just slots it nicely with the outside of the left foot.
Actually, a nice little touch at the end there by Ben Collins. He knew where the defender was, just wanted to, I guess, poke it out enough to get it by so that he could do that. We've got a new goalkeeper, and it's a name that you're not going to be familiar with. He replaced the injured Victor Noguera. Gino Epifani from Southern Connecticut State, actually. Same college that produced Brian Bliss. And I think this is a great chance to put him in there.
And Southern Connecticut has been an NCAA power at the Division II level. They've won on a few championships. Another player in the MISL from Southern Connecticut is Doc Lawson of the Dallas Sidekicks.
I think it's a good time to give the guy some kind of exposure. You don't know whether or not he can do it. You may as well give him a test here. 5-2, the lead belonging to Chicago with 4:22 to go. I don't fault Timo Leakoski at all for putting in Epifani at this point. Valentine to the right side. Trying to come in, it's blocked. DeLuca bringing it in, out of Valentine. Looking to turn. Carl Valentine off the glass. Almost there. Good hustle by DeFlorio. Now it's Valentine again. Valentine has done a lot tonight for Cleveland. Stolmeyer, he'd like to take that one over. That would have been a perfect field goal if this were a Sunday afternoon of the fall.
That one was still going up when it hit the wall at the back of the building.
I think it's still up. 3:48 to go in the game. Chicago leading at 5-2. But you know, those things will happen when you're pressing and you know the time is running out. 3:48 could be an eternity, but not to Stolmeyer. He's just trying to put it on net as fast as he can.
He's never been bashful about shooting. He has a powerful leg. That one, he took his eye off of it and just got under it. But it's the frustration. He's trying to break the net with it.
Mariano and Vaccaro converse. Finally, the ball comes back. Maybe it finally hit the wall.
But going back to Epifani, that's putting him in goal now for Johns. There's no way a reflection on Johns' play tonight. It's really a situation where the Cleveland Force are looking at possible playoffs down the road. They have to have a second keeper that's at least been in there and wet his feet a little bit in this type of competition.
And Ty, they can make moves, although everybody else is frozen in terms of a field player. You can change a goalkeeper. That deadline has been extended, so
that's for obvious reasons. Yeah. You really can't try and adapt another player to that type of position.